There was a moment in my life where I pulled back from everyone, not because I was depressed, but because I finally understood something. Isolation, when used correctly, becomes a superpower. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use solitude to transform your life. What is the deal, YouTube, man? We back here with another vid. If you're new to this channel, make sure you comment down below. So we're going to get straight into the video, and I want to talk about why isolation is a superpower when used correctly. Before I became on my journey, I was the one always going out, drinking, cheating, trying different things, always being in groups of people, not being able to go out by myself, not even just taking myself out for real. I always had to have somebody right there, always had to be texting someone, always had to be in a friend group, always had to be a part of something. But I didn't understand the power of isolation. I didn't understand that to elevate, you got to isolate. And this goes, like I said, this goes back to me from before, the person I was, the old identity I was. I would always go out in big crowds and think that that was the thing, that being around, having all these people around me was just so powerful, and that was the greatest thing ever. And the fact that I was big and bad and I had more value than what I actually really didn't have by just having those people around me. So once I figured out to elevate, you gotta isolate, that's when it became a superpower to me. That's when it became the best for my journey in transforming my life into the person I am becoming today. Isolation creates identity clarity. Once I started to isolate, I began to understand who I am, my wants, my fears. I understood why I was hurting other people, why I do X, Y, and Z, why I was getting these outcomes, not the outcomes I thought I truly was looking for. I understood that to get to my goals and the things that I was working towards, that I had to separate myself to actually have a clear mind and be able to put in X amount of work to get to where I want to. When I was doing music, when I was doing basketball, when I was just doing content, I wasn't isolating myself from others. I was always just in it with other people, doing it with other people. It's cool to do things with other people, especially if y'all like-minded, y'all on the same path, but just to have them around, just to be around, that's a lot of liability, and we don't need liability around us. If they are, or it is a liability, keep it as far away from you as fucking humanly possible. Because you got to isolate to actually be able to think, understand. That's why I work best when I'm alone by myself. Like, I can sit here while my family's around and work on different things that doesn't require me to have to be isolated or be in solitude. But when I am in solitude, when I am home alone, when I am walking outside alone, doing anything alone, my best ideas come up. I get more clarity on situations I should handle better. I understand why the argument went the way it was and how I can go forth and move forward and understand it and go by it next time. I understand why I should go apologize and explain my side and explain how it really was, and not just based off reactions. Isolation removes low-level influences. Once I isolated myself, I start to push out that low vibration, low influences. The more I isolated myself, I didn't feel like I was demanded to drink. I didn't feel like I was demanded to go out. Once I isolated myself, I understood the power of no, and knowing that this is the real freedom right here. This is the real quality time that I want. This is what's needed for me to become the best version of myself and hit my full potential in every aspect of my life, become that 1% person I'm trying to become. And you could do the same. If it's low on influence, it doesn't align with the person you're trying to become, the things you're trying to get to, you have to eliminate it out of your life to get the best transformation, the best results possible. Because if you're still holding on to old baggage, you can't create new identity and create new memories and new things you need to do to move forward if you're holding that old baggage. You're just going to keep going back to that old baggage. But if you really take the trash out and start implementing the right things and being around the right influences, it will influence you better. I don't watch the same content. I don't indulge in the same things I would normally indulge in if I did not isolate myself. Isolation strengthens discipline and self-trust. You begin to trust yourself more. I start trusting myself way more. I start believing in myself. I start forgiving myself. I started to become more disciplined once I isolated myself. I understood that this mattered more than being around those people. This mattered than talking to those people. This mattered more than me being around a crowd of people. Even family. It gets that fucking deep, even family. Yes, if your family is your family, will always be your family, but if they're not good for you, if they don't understand that you're trying to become a different and better version of yourself and just to give you time, then you gotta isolate yourself from them. Some people, like I said, even family, will not understand. A stranger will understand more than your family would because they know you for you, the old you, the person you used to be, the person you was when you were around them before you start to isolate yourself. I've become a whole different breed of a person. Oh, she don't eat pork. She don't do this. She don't drink as much. She don't smoke as much. You know, it's different shit. She got shit that she's working on. I can't sit at this family gathering for 10 hours. I come show my face. I got to be back home. I got a morning routine. I got a business to keep going to. I got people and clients to help. I got millions of people depending on me to bring them this game, bring them this value, to help them out their situation. So I got to get back to it. I got to do my godly work. Even with my family, I'm not saying I don't love my family and I'm not going to give them attention that they need. But since I've been young, since I was younger, until I became an adult, they had all that time. And now it's time for me to actually reach my full potential. And I wasn't given certain things. I wasn't shown certain things. So I had to go and find it and learn it and be that and learn that on my own. I had to go invest in seeing other people and research other things to find it on my own. And now I'm aligning to become the best version of myself. And if you can't understand that or not with it or don't even support it, I have to isolate myself from you. That's when I start to trust myself and become more disciplined. I trust myself not to touch the bottle that we might have had over the weekend or on the occasion of a holiday or birthday. I trust myself not to overeat, overindulge in certain things because I'm not around that type of environment. I became more disciplined with my routine. I became more disciplined with my community and even just disciplined with my posting. Even if I only get one person to view or watch my video, I'm still going to be consistent. I'm still going to fucking post. I'm still going to do what needs to be done because my future self is going to thank me. In a year or two, we're going to watch these videos and be like, damn, we made it. Damn, I seen her whole journey and she stuck to it no matter what. She was disciplined enough to stick it through and stick to it. Isolation rebuilds your mind. It's mental rewiring. Once you become in isolation into your solitude, you're stuck with your thoughts. You're stuck with your mind. Whether it's guilt, whether it's fear, your deepest thoughts. But you get to change those patterns and rewire your brain for the better. When I started to be in this isolation, I started to read books more. Instead of me investing in going to the club, buying different clothes to go out to these clubs, I started investing more into books, more into certain content, to rewire my brain, to get into those pockets and those parts of my brain that I never discovered or had the capability of thinking of that because I started isolation. These books and these different type of contents and PDF files that I'm reading is enabling me to reach my fullest potential in my mind, to be able to rewire my mind, to be able to take a pause, to take a minute before I speak, listen more than I speak. Isolation prepares you for the next level. Like I said in the beginning of the vid, before you elevate, you gotta isolate. When you start to elevate, or even when you just start to become on your journey, everything starts to leave by itself. People, old habits, old mindsets, old triggers. When you're leveling up, everything's become different. And if it doesn't align with you, it starts to break off. They start to scatter like fucking roaches. And that's when you know that you're on the right path. That's when you know that that shit's working. When you start to feel alone, when you start to feel like, damn, this shit boring. I don't got nobody on this journey with me. That's why I built the community for like-minded individuals like us that start to feel alone, that start to feel like, hey, everyone's gone. I was just me sitting here working on myself. That's why I built the 2X Academy, where like-minded individuals can come in, connect, talk about our wins, talk about our losses, the things that we need to work on, or just helping each other on our journey. So if you want to join that, make sure you please click the link in the description. And I give a lot of different resources, templates, you will see when you get inside. But isolation prepares you for you to level up. You start to hit every aspect of your life. Instead of once you stop going out and you stop spending time doing certain things, you get to put different things in those times. Like instead of me going out to a party, I can have more family time or relationship time to rebuild my relationship and make it better than what it was before. If I'm home alone, having time to myself in my solitude, isolation, I get to put in more work. I get to put in 10 times the work because it's nothing for me to do. If I'm bored, I can read the book. I can sharpen up on my videos, I can learn, I can research. But it's pushing the needle forward for the person and the things I'm trying to get to. That's what isolation does. It gives you more time. It gives you more time so you can then buy your time back, get your freedom, understanding what needs to be done and what doesn't. You have more time to check that shit off your fucking list and get it done, bro. Think of isolation like a sharpening sword. The sword doesn't get sharper in the battlefield. It gets sharpened alone. If you want isolation to become your superpower, this is where you start at Twox Academy, man. So that's it for the vid. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and till next time. Peace.